Thanks. So I'm a lecturer in theatre, and I love being in rehearsal rooms or on stages. I'm fascinated by how these places function and how people interact in a room together, how collaborators on these kinds of processes share a mission and collectively steer a creative process. But what I've started to be interested in is what happens when that rehearsal room is actually the village hall, down the road from your house, or a field that you kind of walk past on the way to collect your children from school, or if the stage is the street that you have just done your Christmas shopping on, and the collaborators are the people that you cycle past on your way there. So like Sophie, I don't have a PowerPoint, and I'm also a long-term York resident. So in the past 12 years, I've been lucky enough to see just about all of the community theatre shows staged by York Theatre Royal and by their co-producers in and around the city of York since the early 2010s. For the Theatre Royal, smaller pilot projects and long-term institutional decisions built towards the first really gigantic undertaking that was the Mystery Plays in 2012 in the Museum Gardens, which possibly some others here have seen as well. And that was a kind of 3-hour extravaganza scripted by the local writer Mike Kenny, which featured amazing set pieces with sort of 500 cast members and backstage community contributors. And it had a real sense of kind of shared mission about it. That was followed by shows like Blood and Chocolate, which was a co-production with, among others, Pilot Theatre, who's also represented here at this event, In Fog and Falling Snow, which was sort of playfully moving around the National Railway Museum. And through speaking to the theatre makers and participants involved in these, I've become really interested in the energies and structures of theatre making on such huge scales with the community and how they resonate around the city. So last year I ran a workshop funded by the York Impact Accelerator Fund, where I invited 10 theatre professionals who had all been engaged in community theatre in some form, whether as a writer or an actor or a director, producer, kind of artistic director, to reflect on and formulate questions around the possibilities for this kind of community work. And they were all so passionate in the questions that they brought to the discussion and the challenges that they had for themselves and each other. And from that, essentially what emerged was a really strong desire to explore models of community theatre making, which are more what I'm sort of terming radically open to the communities that the theatres serve, and that offer ways for theatre goers to be not only consumers in a theatre industry, but citizens in a local community. So I'm here just because I would love to have conversations about ways of designing and trialing these kind of possible models of radically open community theatre making in the real world. And, I'm keen to draw on industry expertise as well as research insights in co-designing and co-creating these kinds of ways of facilitating community creativity. Thanks.